Do what thou wilt should be the whole law. So I'm gonna make this video. It's weird. I'm gonna make this video about the new book, the Arazutan, and try to run through a few things so that those interested can understand what it's about. So the history of the Arazutan had to do with my own spiritual progression. And I had studied a lot of things, Eastern and Western, religious traditions. I had studied Eastern and Western philosophy, yoga, magic, Western mystery school, various other mystery schools, before I had come to certain realizations about how things were being taught that I didn't feel were correct, especially dealing with psychology, which I saw as the study of the human soul. And I realized that a lot of these religions were trying to immortalize the idea of the soul, that we permanently have it, and that we don't need to do anything because we have the soul. Various psychologies that I studied were Albert Ellis, rational emotive behavioral therapy, Patanjali's writings upon the mental modifications, the Buddha's descriptions of the skandhas, the Hindu idea of the vignas, which are obstacles to us realizing our highest potential, our true self. These were some of the ideas about the human soul that I learned about, and I desired to formulate a ritual where one would be able to go through a process to choose to remove these things. So there are a lot of things written in this book that it's a very compact book, but it's packed full of information based on my own experiences and the experiences of my wife. And we tried to share these experiences the best we could without giving away everything, because I would really like you to also be able to discover things about yourself. So I would advise you and suggest that you read about the source materials that are spoken of, the various quotes that are within the book itself, that you look into those things, and that you look into what the daemons are according to Iamblichus. Immerse yourself in studying these things before you decide to take the Arazutan, if you do. So the first part of the Arazutan is the renunciation, and it is what it sounds like. You're getting rid of those things that have been in your life that no longer have a place, values, thoughts. You need to choose to remove these things. It's a conscious decision. It's a voluntary decision. You're going to take the various items that represent your enslavement, and you're going to take these items, pile them up, destroy them in whatever means necessary so they're no longer a part of your life. and you're going to declare that you are free and liberated from the enslavement through the Elu and the god of the Elu, who we view as the idiot god Ildabaoth, or as has been come to be known as Jehovah. And you're going to do this ritual of renunciation, and that's the beginning. And then you're going to summon the first daemon, and you're going to be mindful of what that daemon instructs you in, and you'll notice that the next day, if you're focused and mindful, synchronistic lessons will pop up in your life, which will deal with what you've been taught by the daemon already. And you can choose to remove these things, identify them, evaluate and eliminate these things from your life. Your attitude is that of a hunter. Hunt those things out from your life that are enslaving you, that are preventing you from manifesting your true will. And you're going to do this over and over and over again for the next 15 days. On the 15th day, you're going to make an offering to the daemons. What matters is that it's a meaningful offering to these beings. They're supernatural and divine beings. They've been through what we are going through. They're our ancestors. They're to be approached with respect and reverence, not fear that they're going to do something to you. They love you. They're your ancestors. They were once human, and they have realized their divinity. They serve Satan. They're loyal to Satan, as he is the great liberator of the Ari, as what is spoken of in the Book of Origin. He was the first to liberate the Ari by his courageous choice to not allow the Elu god to push him around and tell him how he needed to think and feel, that he wanted to be able to choose for himself. So he separated himself from that god that he felt had no honor, that had been jealous and had been vengeful against the Ari itself, against Legion. So after that, you're going to keep continuing summoning the daemons, and you're going to be recording still the experiences that happen day after day, and you're going to identify, evaluate, and eliminate the things that no longer serve you. On the 21st day, you're going to take your cards that have already been made, which are used for the Arazutan, and you're going to shuffle them and pile them up in 3 piles, and on the top of each pile record the name that's given to you, as that is the name that you will be known by within the Ari. This is a momentous occasion when you take a name, because that symbolizes that you have separated yourself from the herd, and that you're advancing on the noble path, and that the Ari are guiding you. And on the next day, you're going to perform what is called the Arazush, which is the blessing of the mingled blood. You're going to mingle your blood with wine into a cup, and you're going to mix your blood and do a ritual, which is you're going to ask for the blessing of Babylon upon this cup, the cup of Sangreal. And after it's blessed, you're going to consume the contents and make yourself one with nobility and the Ari. Then you're going to continue summoning each daemon, and on the next day, you're going to write out a pact in your own handwriting. You're going to write it out, and you're going to speak it forth, and you're going to seal it with your blood once again, and your new Ari name that you're now known by. And you want to keep this pact out in the open, so that you can be reminded of your choice that you've made, so that you can continue to read it and live according to it. The pact itself is to our first ancestor, Ka'an, known in the world as Cain. We call him Ka'an. The reason is because of the language itself. The actual name itself is of the first ancestor who walked the path of Makasamare, the great path of perfection, the serpent path. This path itself has been walked by many others. The point is that we revere Ka'an, who became initiated upon this path. The mark of man was placed upon his forehead, symbolic of how he'd been separated from the herd, and he was no longer an animal but had become a man. This is where our higher consciousness comes from. Our ability to reason comes from. And so this is a momentous occasion when we take this pact itself to Ka'an. And then we're going to continue to do the rest of the Arazutan. We're going to summon the daemons. And we're going to pay attention and focus and be mindful in our life of the lessons that are being shown us. The actual Arazutan is a joining of the Luciferi of Legion. What is the Luciferi? Well, it's a body of individuals who have come to the gnosis of Lucifer. They're bearers of wisdom. Those who speak forth the wisdom of Lucifer for those who are ready to hear, those who listen to Babylon. Those who are ready to listen to Babylon, the Luciferi have a duty to bring upon this path so so that they too can be liberated, so that they too can gain their freedom from the Elu and from the idiot God. And that's what I have to say about the Arazutan. Hun, do you have anything to add about the Arazutan? Okay. She's going to do her own video. So I'm going to conclude this one. If anybody has any questions, you can leave the comment and I'll answer your question. I know I've moved pretty rapidly. There are 28 days to the ordeal. It is an ordeal. It takes great courage to call upon these beings and listen to their wisdom and their guidance, to be open to their guidance. It takes great courage to be able to do that, to become one of the Luciferi, one who bears the light of Lucifer in their own life. It takes great courage to live according to wisdom rather than live as one of the herd, accepting and conforming to what the herd says you should be. It takes great courage to be able to choose to live a life worth living. And if you haven't yet, go get a copy of the Book of Origin, because that's where this began. This began within the Book of Origin. Much of what we believe in our doctrine is in the Book of Origin. And many of the teachings to be understood are within the Book of Origin. So, 666, blessed be.